Disclaimer: the following video content was created intentionally in a commentary style. This will not be the overall style of the documentary. Origins was primarily offline, and small parts that were online had no value to reenact. If you hear the tone, Panther would like to direct your attention for visual effects, since most of the video is a commentary over the game Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. This was added so you would not have to watch the gameplay, but multitask other activities if you would like. If you hear the tone, simply direct your attention back to the video for additional information worth watching. Panther would like your feedback, so please comment your thoughts down below. If you have any questions on the video, feel free to contact Panther through his gamertag located in the description box or in the comments section. I'm Dividable Halo, and thank you for your time.
Jong Chu is a South Korean chemist suspected to be working for the North Korean Cabinet Intelligence Bureau. Under interrogation, Pong Chu confessed his involvement in delivering highly classified bioweapon research to agents of the CGIB. The CGIB then blackmailed him into acquiring heavily regulated viral engineering equipment, which he smuggled through Panama on their behalf. Our investigation of Jong's reported telecommunications activities over the past few months makes it clear that the North Korean government may be using his intelligence and his equipment to manufacture biological weapons in a series of old bunkers near Nampo Sea. Your mission is to infiltrate the bunker complex, identify any chemical or biological weapons, and recover samples of any agents being developed.
Ready?
Welcome to the big leagues. To make the grade as an official unofficial Splinter Cell, you need to keep a low profile. Keep it discreet. We don't want to reignite the war.
One of the major factors that we had in developing the Panthers was starting up on Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory to be specific. Myself and Panther 260420, who's with me right now.
Hey.
Us two created the Panthers. On Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, they have a co-op mode, and we played primarily the first mission, the mansion mission, which you see here, over and over and over again. We had that thing mastered, and the video feed you're seeing now is not of our time playing that. We actually redid that recently to show you what we played and how we did it together. And this video feed is in no way on how we did it. We were kind of goofing off a little bit when we were making this. We had no idea where to go. It's been a very long time since we played, over 5 years since we last played it. So we were pretty rusty. On the plus side, we only had to do 2 takes.
Yeah.
We the first one on the training mission, what did we do?
There's a lot of figuring out controls.
Yeah, there was that. Almost killing me again.
Yeah.
But other than that, the Panthers were very much inspired by Splinter Cell. We wanted the Panther group could not be where it was without Splinter Cell. That was a huge factor. So we played this game all night. We played that one mission all night, and our objective in that game would be to not ever get caught. And it's not that we wouldn't rush through it. It's just that when doing it in the dark, midnight, whatever, it's very fun to take it seriously. It's very entertaining to where you can sit there and just take things slow and enjoy the game that way. And that was one thing about Splinter Cell Chaos Theory that the other Splinter Cells, in my opinion, for what I've seen, do not capture in the right way. Even the newer one, Blacklist, it has those features, but it's not as it was in Chaos Theory.
Right.
Because in Blacklist, you can do an execution, and you can stay undetected. In that game, if you got detected, you got detected, basically. There wasn't really a oh shit button where you can just kill people and you get caught, oh shit, execute them, alright, you're still good.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that back then. You either had to sneak around the enemy, knock him out, or kill him. There wasn't just this execute button. But the clan name, or the group name Panther, did not come from Splinter Cell. In fact, most people think that we got our name from Splinter Cell Conviction when a team of Splinter Cells drop in from a rooftop and call Sam Fisher Panther. That's actually more of a coincidence than anything, and more ironic, to be honest. We got the name when Double Agent was out. Chaos 3 was, we were playing Chaos 3. We knew Double Agent was out, and Double Agent was a completely different game. And Conviction was not even. Conviction did not have a trailer out when we came up with this name. And how we did it was, 26 had a cat.
Yep.
And this cat was a total bitch. Her name is Paige, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I just called her Kitty.
yeah. And
Whatever.
this black cat, she was a Claude. I could have swore she was.
She eventually got to Claude, but there was a long stretch where she was scratching everything.
Yeah, I do remember. I do remember now. But when I was staying at 26's house, and we were playing Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, and it was 2 a.m.
Yeah,
It was late. It was one of those late nights where we're playing, Chaos Theory, and I'll walk out to grab a drink or get some fresh air or use the restroom, whatever, and this cat comes out and just paws the piss out of my leg. It just paws me and takes off. And I'm just like, I'm kind of laughing. It was kind of cute, like, wow, you're so ferocious without your claws. So I called her Panther, and we decided to use that for our Chaos 3 names. But we didn't go with Panther 13 and Panther 26. We went with Panther 1 and Panther 2. That was it. That was the extent of it.
Yep.
So we went to Halo 2. We liked the game. It was very fun to play. The campaign was obviously outstanding. I mean, the favorite campaign mission of all time is still Outskirts. That mission I've played so many times.
Yeah.
I
think the only problem with the campaign was that the ending was rushed.
Yeah. Well, the entire game was rushed.
Yeah.
They were trying to get that multiplayer.
Yeah, the brutes were added in very quickly.
Yeah. But what we did on Halo 2 is I kind of took back from what I learned from the Vipers. This unconventional warfare was the only thing I really knew. So we practiced in campaign right away. We practiced tactics, flanking, going together as a team. What we learned in Splinter Cell too. We applied what we knew worked. Working together as a team, doing a double envelopment, basically a pincer maneuver. Mm-hmm. The ideology behind that was the enemy can only shoot one of us, and if in the event that, let's say for an example, Sang Healy were to shoot me, and if I'm even going to get 2 shots on him and take cover, then 26 would be able to finish him off.
Right.
So that was our maneuver. Or when we went into each room, we were basically arm lengths apart. If both of our arms were extended out, that was our tactic. We were basically that distance away from one another most of the time, unless we split up and tried to do a ambush tactic.
Yeah.
Which in Outskirts, we all know the speed rush system where you can jump on rooftops. So that we applied that, and it was very effective. But so on Halo 2, we decided, hey, it'd be kind of a good idea if we got more people into this and played Halo 2 with us. And at the time, we didn't even have our gamer tags as Panthers.
Nope.
It was General. I had General 130210.
Yeah.
What did you have?
Didn't I have like
110?
General? 110.
Yeah, because that was from the Halo Wars trailer. You get that. It was Spartan 110, I think, or
Spartan 11 Mega. Right?
Yeah, Spartan Team Omega. It was one. I don't know. I had 110 in there or something.
Yeah.
And we went with that. And then we had General 312. That was Cullen.
Was it?
Yeah, he was 312 or 321. No, 1321. I can't remember what his numbers were, but I knew it. He had 3 digits as well.
Yeah.
Mine was. What was mine? It was. No, wasn't it? Was.
No, you didn't have that full number.
No,
yet.
no, not yet. I don't remember what I had right away.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Initial one. My first gamer tag was Viper something, 53 something. But how I got the Panther 130210 number is actually kind of ironic. Because the time was the first General 130210, and that's what I had at Reach right away, was that gamer tag. And my when I tried to apply a more gold for live, my password got corrupted or got screwed up, and I couldn't remember what my password was. So when I had this general 130210 gamertag, I do know I obtained that gamertag through combining some numbers. We had Sergeant M. Hardy, which was Blaine, or Sergeant Hardy, or was it Cadet? I can't remember. He had a rank, and it was something Hardy.
Yeah.
We had you, which was General 110, and Cullen, who was General 312 or something like that.
Yeah.
I ended up looking at those numbers one day, and I wanted to make my numbers based on those numbers. And somehow I came up to 130210. Right. And ironically, if you take that divided by my number, my 130210 number, that'll be my Viper gamertag. Viper 53 something.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I really manipulated those numbers. And that's how I got 130210. And I don't know, it kind of stuck. I kind of went with it, like, yeah, 130210, and then I don't know, I liked it.
Yeah.
So what we did on Halo 2 in LAN is that we are on LAN, basically a home connection, to where it became myself, 26, General 312, Hardy, there was Colton, Daniel, and Cameron. There was a Cameron, they were both Indian. Daniel and Cameron were both Indian. And we went to elementary and middle school with them. It was elementary school at the time. And Cameron was the taller one, or not really taller one, but he had the shorter hair. And then Daniel had the longer hair, and he was kind of chubby. But we had two different teams.
Vaguely remember.
Yeah, they weren't that intelligent. We had two teams. We had Colton's team and my team. My team focused on custom games. We played a lot of custom games. We practiced a lot of tactics in those custom games. And the other team would focus on campaign and practicing teamwork and coordination and working together as a team to take down bigger targets. And at the time, it was more for fun. We were entertaining ourselves. It came down to the point where we got really into it, where we decided to switch the roles. So Colton's team, besides Colton, would come over to my place, which we lived right across the street from one another. And my team went over to Colton's house, and then we played that way. Yeah. And they learned what I was doing, and my team learned what Colton was doing. As for what they did over at Colton's house, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what you guys did over there. And it was only for one day.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of I don't know. It was a lot. It wasn't as focused.
I could see that.
It was much more about the actual like how you would play in a normal matchmaking game, as opposed to, actually devising a strategy on how to win. It was more like it was more along the lines of like how you'd play Call of Duty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had two different mindsets, Colton and I did. And I remember Cullen, our General 312, came back one day, and he said he played online, and it was nothing that we were doing was what they were doing in matchmaking. And I understood that. I mean, I understood that what we were doing was not the typical gameplay.
Right.
And I was all right with that, because I wanted this to be different. Because being predictable is a huge weakness. You think about it. If your tactic, and most competitive people do this, is toss a grenade and pick them off as your shield's dropping. That's how Halo works.
Yeah.
That's a bullshit tactic. It's too predictable. It's too easy to get around. I wanted to devise something that was completely different. So it came down to a 1v1 between Cullen and I. He would use his tactics that he learned from being online, and then I would use the tactics that I knew. Well, obviously I won. I mean, you think about it. He's trying to run around trying to find me, and I'm sneaking around. I mean, I get the first shot on him most of the time.
Yeah.
And then it came down to pure skill, but by the time he even noticed where I was, that second battle rifle shot was already in his head. So he really didn't have a chance to really adapt to it and target me.
Right.
There was, he got a few kills on me and stuff where I wasn't paying attention, but overall, I mean, I won. I won the game because of these tactics. I was using unconventional tactics with them. So what we did is I was extremely strict. I was extremely strict with you guys. And I remember making you guys do push-ups too.
Yeah.
Push-ups, sit-ups for what was it? If you did something, that was ridiculous. If you guys mouthed off, did something stupid, didn't pay attention, it was like 10 push-ups or 10 sit-ups or whatever. And it was just I wanted to develop that aspect of structure.
Mm-hmm.
That structure there was so important to me. I wanted a team that I could take anywhere and be able to adapt to anything without any issues. We should be able to go into a situation and be like, I know what to do, without a second's hesitation on what to do. Yeah. It should just be analyze and go, work together as a team, and not say a word. That was the goal. We played a little bit of Halo 3. It wasn't much.
Right.
It wasn't until because when the 360 came out, I didn't get it right away.
Right.
At the time, we were extremely poor. I mean, I was. I didn't even have online. I at the time it was just all home connection, and it was hours upon hours just practicing some basic tactics.
Yeah.
I remember one tactic we had: distract one guy, lead him into a room, and two guys would sit there with a shotgun on each side of the door. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as you walk through, you get blasted with two shotguns from both different angles.
Right.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And I remember us practicing that a lot.
I remember sometimes we accidentally hit the guy on the other side.
Yeah. They try to shoot they try to shoot the target and end up killing one another.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of trial and error to see how this was going to work out. And I knew it could work. I just didn't know how to make it work at this time. On Halo 3, they had the new gadgets and stuff. Applying that to espionage was actually kind of interesting because we didn't use a lot of the gadgets. The main gadget that we used was Bubble Shield. Mm-hmm. That was the main one we used because that one I thought was probably the most effective out of everything.
Right. I
mean, the landmine was so easy to get around.
Yeah.
In
fact, you could crouch and walk on it.
Yeah, you could walk right on it and just not even die or anything. So obviously you didn't do that in a combat situation because that one shot that hits that mine, you're done. But it was definitely interesting for infiltration. Mm-hmm. If you need to get across the landmine, you just crouch right over that thing. And plus, you got off the radar too. Mm-hmm. The deployment cover was helpful, but not as helpful as the bubble shield.
Right.
The bubble shield was just so much more combat efficient. Mm-hmm. We had the regenerator that would regenerate your health. To me, that wasn't something that was practical.
Yeah,
for us.
It would. Yeah.
And as when we're doing these tactics, that thing just kind of telegraphed where we were. Mm-hmm. I mean, if anything, that bubble shield would give us more of a tactic either to get away or to re-engage on our own terms. Mm-hmm. What else was there? Was flare, which was helpful. Yeah. We tried using it for a actual flare, where you'd have you'd send a scout, and then he'd shoot the flare up in the air, and hopefully reinforcements would see that flare. Yeah. But in Halo 3, it didn't work like that.
No, it was more of like a flashbang sort of.
Yeah, it was like a really shitty flashbang. So
or just blind everyone.
Yeah, so that didn't work. What else am I missing? There was the
it was
the little cannon man thing. You deployed it and it like shot the gravity boost.
Oh yeah, the man cannon.
Something like that. I don't know. Yeah. That was really only useful to take out vehicles.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. It was only temporary. Yeah. I mean, you deployed that and the vehicle would fly over you, and you could use that to jump on something, but that was the extent of it, and it really wasn't that effective. There was radar jammer too.
Yeah.
That was almost useless.
Well, because if you're an active camo, which you couldn't actually have as a permanent power up, it was just around the map. So it was only useful when you had active camouflage.
I found it not even useful at all. I think it just telegraphed people's positions because with that, I mean, there's more of a proximity on it.
Oh yeah.
So when people can they can see those radar dots and be like, oh hey, something's going on over here.
Yeah, someone's here.
Yeah.
Plus, if you really paid attention, you could tell which one was the player.
I don't know that for Halo 3, to be honest, offhand. I can't remember. I know for Halo Reach that was
I
true.
remember figuring it out.
Really? Yeah, I remember for Halo Reach figuring that out, and that was very, very helpful.
There was the EMP one as well.
EMP, yeah. That was useful.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, if you had someone who's shooting at somebody, you could, 2, 3 people, whatever, in a general area, you could toss that EMP right in the middle and just battle rifle them up, or toss a grenade and.
Yeah.
Clean
And
it
it
through.
also EMP vehicles as well. So
air vehicles, and it was useful.
yeah.
That one and the bubble shield. And if you combine the two, where you sit in there and you jump up and you deploy that,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great tactic. But our Spartans, I mean, to be honest, I think my Spartan looked like a scout. I had scout armor, I think, or was that?
Yeah, you had Scout.
Was it scout?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know you had Mark 5 for a while because you were online on Halo 3.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was still offline.
Yeah.
And you got up to Rogue.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah, because I remember
had Rogue for a bit.
I remember you getting to that level because it was you, me, and Cullen
Mm-hmm.
at your dad's house.
Yeah.
And I played Epic Sax Guy. No, Bird. The Bird is the word for like almost 10 hours straight.
Yeah.
Because I was the one with the I was the one playing music.
Yeah.
And you got Rogue. Then oh my god, there's so many long nights.
Yeah.
Doing shit like that.
But I think in the end I did get security.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, both the shoulders and the head.
Yeah, that's one thing that you've always been kind of obsessed with was the biggest panther, to be the largest like armored panther. You had the biggest and bulkiest armor.
Yeah, it became more prevalent in Halo Reach because in Halo Reach we were playing as Spartan 3s instead of 2s, and I really liked how the Spartan 2s were bigger and more like less human.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that aspect, so yeah, I kind of wanted to make even though we were playing as Spartan 3s, I really wanted my character to seem like, he was more than human,
Yeah.
Yeah.